The third bid has been made for Mihajlo Mudryk from Arsenal Football Club. This has been confirmed by Fabrizio Romano. The new bid is 70 million euros guaranteed, with bonuses of 20 to 25 million pounds on top. Simon Collins suggests that the talks are progressing well, and Arsenal have indicated a willingness to part with as much as 60 million pounds up front. And Charles Watts confirms that the talks are advanced and a full agreement is closer than it has ever been before. We're going to delve into this and into more detail regarding this deal that we all know Arsenal fans are desperate to see get over the line. We're also going to take a look at some other big transfer news today, with Chelsea making a tempting offer for Marcus Thuram to join them. That is from Damasio. Arsenal target Danilo on the edge of signing for Nottingham Forest, and Manchester United have received serious takeover interest from the Middle East, Asia, and America, and are poised to invite formal bids from them by the mid-February deadline. But Mihajlo Mudryk to Arsenal, it has been a long and drawn-out transfer saga. I don't think we can get away from that. Arsenal have been diligent. They've been trying to drive that price down. But a package worth 90 million euros has been offered. He's close to being their guy. Let's do this. Did we expect this deal earlier? Did we expect Mihajlo Mudryk in at Arsenal 1st of Jan, 2nd of Jan? Probably. With the amount of twerking this guy has done for Arsenal, we probably expected him in sooner. And that is not a dig. He is desperate to come and play for Arsenal. Ben Jacobs, of course, of CBS, regular on the football terrace, has been telling us that for about 6 months about his desperation to join Arsenal. And clearly, Arsenal have a huge desire to sign him as well. That can't be twisted. We know Arsenal want him. They've had 2 bids already turned down. Chelsea, of course, muddied the waters by getting involved, and Chelsea are still there in the background waiting for this to fall through. They haven't made a formal bid, and they won't make a formal bid because they know that the player, as it stands right now, is going to reject them. They're essentially sitting there, like you always have one of those dodgy friends who's a little bit too nice to your girlfriend, and you're like, you're definitely going to ask her out if me and her break up, right? Them kind of guys. You cut them out, by the way. Bad people. Don't associate with people like that. There was a bad guy in the friend group like that. That's what Chelsea are doing in this particular scenario. Is they're waiting for something to go wrong so they can sweep in. That's exactly what they're doing. But what about this deal? I mean, Fabrizio has broke it down well. It's going to be 70 million euros as a guaranteed fee. And first of all, I really do want to get Arsenal fans' perspective on that. It's around 62 million pounds with up to 25 million, which we'll round it down, 20 million euros in add-ons, which is a further 17 million pounds. So you are talking about a complete package here of 62 plus 7, 62 plus the 17. That is a package of 79 to 80 million pounds, around 90 million euros that Arsenal are going to offer. So clearly they want him. And I think this is what I would say to Arsenal. This is a massive outlay. It will be the biggest transfer under Mikel Arteta. It really will be the biggest transfer under Mikel Arteta. But should you trust him? I got into a debate with Lee Gunner just the other day about the vast majority of the transfers under Mikel Arteta being worthwhile. And they have been. 77% of these transfers have been successful. Nuno, if you put Nuno, Lokonga, Mari, Paulo Mari, and Cedric in as flops, and some of them you still probably got question marks on. They're on loan. They're going to come back to see what happens. But let's just put them in flop for argument's sake. Still, 77% have been successful. The success rate and the quality of purchases under Edu and Arteta as they settled at the club has been phenomenal. So there is no logical reason to doubt this deal. That doesn't mean he's going to be 100% a hit. No, there is no guarantee ever that any player will 100% be a hit. But it's about whether or not you have faith in the manager. This deal is going to happen. For me, if it doesn't happen in January, I would be so shocked. It would take a massive injury to the player to end this. That's all it comes down to. The player is twerking every day on socials. I think this third bid is going to be accepted. It's pretty much, they wanted 100 million. They're getting 90. And it's always been felt that the 100 million was a public stance. The fact they're going to get 90 is pretty much there. I don't see this being turned down. And when you read the articles from the likes of Simon Collins here, it's progressing very, very well. You've got the article from Charles Watts that the Mudryk talks are advancing now. I mean, for me, they've always been advanced, but they're advancing more. And a full agreement is closer than it's ever been before. The vast majority of Arsenal journalists now are on this view that it's going to get done and get over the line. But I want your thoughts and I want your feelings on it, people. In other news, Nottingham Forest are on the verge of completing the signing of the midfielder Danilo for 16 million. Now, the reason we're reporting on this is Arsenal are heavily linked to him. And a lot of Arsenal fans wanted him to come in, again, be part of this rejuvenation. The midfield is needed. That's my next question to Gooners. Do you now want the attention to move on to a midfielder? And will the Kroenke sanction that level of spending? A lot of Arsenal fans feel that they are one injury in that midfield away from really struggling in the Premier League. So I want to get your take on that right now. Do Arsenal need another midfield player? Now, in other news in London, Chelsea have made a tempting offer to Marcus Thuram, and the player has now had a change of mind about staying at Gladbach this window. Now, this is massive news. I don't think this has really been picked up on across social media too much today. Like, legitimately, it's been relatively quiet. It's been relatively quiet. The news is out there from one of the most credible sources out there, Damasio, that Marcus Thuram has changed his mind and is now potentially pushing to leave this month. Now, we've seen João Felix going to Chelsea, and I know he got sent off, but don't dwell too much on that. That was just a little bit too much of, being over enthusiastic. It wasn't like he punched someone or headbutted somebody and it was ill disciplined. It was just a bad mistimed tackle. And I don't think he'll make that mistake again. But we saw the balling level. Comparing him to Kai Havertz and Mason Mount especially, it was night and day. And I was watching the game last night and thinking to myself, firstly, some of the younger players have got to play more. Chukwemena, as an example, has got to come in. But if you were to throw in Thuram to this Chelsea team, into that attack with João Felix, the rejuvenation's massive. Raheem Sterling maybe returns in 2 or 3 weeks' time. Suddenly you've got speed, quality on the ball, players that can put the ball in the back of the net if chances have been created. Suddenly there's a whole different complexion to Chelsea's attack. And I felt that if they didn't get that red card last night, I felt they were going to go on and win, personally. The red card took the stuffing out of them, and then you were left with Mount and Kai Havertz, who, right now they couldn't hit a cow's backside with a banjo. They're so out of form. It's unbelievable. But I think this Marcus Thuram deal is a good one for Chelsea because he's so talented. And I know he's available for free in the summer, but it makes a lot of sense to go and get this deal done now. Stop anybody else coming in for him. Secure him moving forward. The question does remain, though. Will Chelsea be able to create team cohesion with so many new faces coming in again in January? I get from the outside looking in, it feels like such a mess. So I want to get your take on that. This is interesting news as well for everybody in the Premier League. Manchester United have received serious takeover interest from the Middle East, Asia, and America and are poised to invite formal bids from them by the mid-Feb deadline. Now, I know Man United fans want this done quicker, and I know rivals don't want this to happen at all. A lot of people for years have challenged me online. The Glazers aren't the issue. You just need a brilliant CDM and a brilliant manager, and you'll be okay. And of course, the one-dimensional thinkers, the people that I wouldn't trust to make me a slice of toast. Look, so you've got a good manager and Casemiro, and you're fine, Terry. It was never the Glazers. It is. United, if the Glazers stay, we need to sell a fair amount of players in the summer. And we have to have Champions League football to be able to sign a top-class striker and top-class midfielder to push us onto another level. Why is that the case? debt, dividends being taken out, interest payments, and the hemorrhaging of billions of pounds that have been wasted on failed projects in the past. All of this at some point bites you in the backside. You can't keep spending money hand over fist and expect there to still be some remaining. It's no business, not even the billionaire owned clubs like the Newcastle and the Cities could spend money on projects like we have, waste it, not receive the not win anything. 'Cause of course, you receive huge amounts of prize money and everything else from doing that, and expect to still be able to keep spending. So Man United are again heading for trouble, irrespective of what Ten Hag has done. Heading for trouble. They need this takeover. I think it's what Man United fans have got to remember. The takeover is coming, and the new owners will pay the debt off. The new owners will pay off any outstanding loans, and they will inject cash. The new owners will inject cash. That is why this is bad news for everybody else. Manchester United, with strong owners, with no debt, with no interest payments, no dividends being taken out, or not large amount of dividends being taken out anyway, and an ownership that invests its own money. Man United's owners, the Glazers, have not put one penny of their own money into the club, and owners can put circa 30 to 35 million pounds a year in just for transfers alone, plus money for improving stadia, wages, and other elements as well. These new owners are going to do it. These new owners are going to do it and push Man United onto another level again. And as a United fan, of course, I'm excited about this, but I do expect rivals to be nervous and concerned. I would be nervous and concerned. This is the awakening of giants, and we're already just a step or so behind you. But this is massive, and United fans have just got to remain patient. Ignore a lot of the stories about how we've got no money, and in the summer we're not going to be able to spend. The world is going to change with new owners. It absolutely will. It absolutely will. So that's still progressing nicely. United being up for sale and for a full sale. The Rain Group keep confirming this, that they are looking for a complete takeover, because there are very few billionaires that want to invest in a segment of the club. They want the whole thing. It will get done. Viewers, listen, I want you to smash the like and the share button before you leave. Subscribe to the Football Terrace. We're back later today. North London derbies, top 6 show, and all that jazz. And we'll see you all again soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.